Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Iporonga. I talk about life, love, disability, and mental health. And so, in this is a continuation of the previous video of nobody told me this before. So it's Christmas season, and I got a different inspiration. So I saw this on TikTok. It's this lady was explaining, like, imagine you are in a house. The house was empty, there was no food, empty in an essence where there's no food, like you have no food in your cupboard, you have no food in your fridge, everything is just empty, sindio. And then a guy comes and then delivers to you a hot box of pizza. So your house is empty and you're starving, you have no food. So the guy says, I'm giving you this box of pizza, but for you to eat it, and I have to come in and eat it with you. So realistically, in your head, because you're starving, you're not thinking straight. So you'll be like, okay, sure, just come on in. And then in scenario two, your house is stocked with food and everything, and then this guy comes in and now offers you this hot box of pizza. And now the situation is that in order for you to eat, for him to give you this box of pizza, you have to invite him to come in and eat with you. You get? So because your house is full already, you're not aukimbili vitu nana sasa. So it'd be like, no, no, thank you. So in reference to real life, even if this is the guy that you would have wanted, if the scenarios are changed, if it was scenario one, you would have wanted him. If it was scenario two, you would think with your head. You're not thinking with, oh, I'm starving, so I'm gonna allow this person to just come into my house. So in real life experiences, these are, in scenario one is when you as a person, you have no boundaries. You have no boundaries, you have no self-esteem, you have no self-confidence, you have nothing. Literally, you're just there, you're just an existing shell of a person. So anyone that comes in has an access to you. Like ata kwambia tiho, I'm giving you small things, so they have access to you. But in scenario two, you are fully stocked, you understand yourself, umejikubali, alafu, and then you love yourself, you have self-esteem, you have self-boundaries, you've established healthy boundaries. So if this person comes, you'll think first and be like, I don't per se need you. Even if they offer you this box of pizza, you'll be like, I don't want it. You'll reason more. So this got me thinking on a few things that I wish. This is a continuation of that video, things that I wish I knew when I was 18 instead of 25. So first of all, don't let your single status keep you stagnant. Like that feeling of, I think it's I don't know if it's a work thing to do that now. When I was in uni and everything, people had like partners, people walikuwa nakatiwa left, right, and center, and nini. So I felt like I'm just stagnant in one place. I felt nilikuwa na feel vibaya. So every guy that I used to date, I used to, like, after a while things are not working out, and then I'm like, you know what, let's call it quits. And then because all my home girls wako na watu wanaongelea, so I feel so homesick. So I'm like, oh, ningekuwa na yule Charlie, at least angekuwa na keep busy nini. So I go back, and then my life, the cycle is the same every time. So I would say, just know that what works for you. Sometimes it's alafu tena, one major mistake that I did was listening to people the same age as I am, people giving me relationship advice with the same age that I am, and then they're struggling with the same things that I'm struggling with in relationship wise. So don't let your single status keep you stagnant. Like, usibaki hapo when you're single. Like, I would say, this is your time, this is your youth time, oh my god, to explore, to know the things that you like, travel, sijui paint and sip, sijui fanya nini, all those things. In your 18s, in your let me say in your 20s, in your teenagehood, this is the time to find you and find your voice. Another thing is, don't change your plans to cater for someone if they are not willing to cater for you. This one applies in sana in friendship. So like I mentioned in the previous video that I valued friendship more, and I think this is something that people should speak, because sometimes you know how to deal with romantic partners, but you don't know how to deal with friendship is also a relationship on its own. So don't, like, kama rafiki yako haizi kufanyia something, don't do it. And don't do it because they would do it, like, usishinde umemfuatafuata if they wouldn't fuatafuata you. I'm saying, like, you should, I said on the previous video, you should surround yourself with people, good people, choose friends for purposes. Unaona sasa, Also, don't change your plans. So if you let's say you do not plan on going out, I'm big on explaining on going out because it's a normal thing around this age. So kama hauko na plan kwenda out, if you are not planning on going out and then your friend is like, oh, si zipi kam si tutuishie hivi, don't change the plans and then you'll be like, oh, najua rafiki yangu amesema tuende hivi juu ni rafiki yangu sijui nini 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 nini. It does not make sense. And also I feel this also applies in romantic relationship in such a way that madam to my girlies outside there, I was also once like that. Once I was in a relationship, I would just forget who I am and then now start focusing sana on that person. So I forget even the things that I like, and now I'm liking the things that this person likes, you get. So at the end of the day, my whole world is revolving around him. So I'm like, oh, and Nicole, sijui nini 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 nini. So I'm just there, like, ni yeye na he was my whole world, you know. And then most of the time these relationships did not last because I was just sijui nilikuwa nakimbilia, and then there was so much FOMO, the fear of missing out, at my friends are being katiad, and then there was just me mwenye when ati ho I thought I couldn't bag people, but apparently I just had like this like face zile za ati oh, you have to have your head straight in order for you to approach me. I was told that the other day and I thought, oh my god, this is the best compliment I've ever received actually. Another thing I would say, on emphasis on surround yourself with good people. We are mosaic of other people, the people that we love. By mosaic I mean like ni kama we imitate the people that we love. So if you surround yourself with good people, you're going to imitate the good behaviors. I'll give you an example. Shout out to my emotionally intelligent cousin. Najua hata ni kama hata hawachingi hizi vitu, but I'm gonna give you relationship advice. I'm gonna give you advice that on things that have worked for me or anything. My cousin, shout out to her, the emotional intelligent queen of our house, Lillian. So my cousin is always calm. Yani mi hata nashangaa anakuwa calm aje. So there was this time, like, I think because mimi ni yule msewa nilikuwa na, like, I was very anxious. I'm anxiously attached. Not at the moment though. I'm learning better behaviors. Anxiously attached. So I remember my cousin always saying, why stress over something yene mbono ushinde 5 minutes ukifikiria kitu yene after 5 years you wouldn't think about it. This is my other cousin, shout out baby. She said that you shouldn't waste your time stressing over. You shouldn't waste 5 minutes stressing over something that you wouldn't think about 5 years down the line. So my cousin always says like, you yani she's very calm, ni kama hata haogopangi chochote. So I there's this time I was asking her on friendship advice. I was like, so how are you able to show up to your friends and not feel guilty? Like, I'll give an example of the normal thing at you beshtangu amesaidia tao na siwezi mrudisha nini. She said, mimi I've set boundaries for my friends and for myself. Zile za, if I'm in a position to help them, I would help them. And if I'm not in a position to help them, I wouldn't help them. And it's okay. My friends have to know that it's okay. If I'm in a position to do it, I'll do it willingly without expecting anything in return. So if I'm in a position to give you that 1,000, na nisi expect irudi, like haitaniumiza financially, I'll do it. But najua hii tao ndio mbele nyuma, na najua maybe hautanipatia, ama najua maybe utafinyika somewhere. I wouldn't give it to you because I know itanifinya somewhere. So you as a friend, you have to be, you know what, you have to be okay. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So every time I'm seated with her, like every time I hear talk, I'm like, oh my goodness, do you know how intelligent you are? Like, I always tell her, I just wish I could be like her. So in surrounding yourself, just remember that we mimic some characters. Like, for example, Mimi, I cook pancakes the same way my cousin taught me. Like, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but I just do it because she does it. So surround yourself and pick up on the small good behaviors of people, because you cannot one bad rotten tomato put in a basket full of tomatoes itaozesha hizo zingine. So surround yourself with people that, you know, watu wenye wanakuboost, give or take. Sasa another thing I would say that I'm tuning into my emotions because I'm surrounding myself with friends when you wanna tune into the emotions. So they're like, you know what, if you're mad at me, just tell me so that you can move on. So if I surround myself with someone who does not outright say that if you're mad at me, just tell me. Don't fall into chameleon syndrome. Chameleon syndrome is that you are dating someone or you are in a friendship group with someone. So like your boyfriend says atiho unajua mi spendi. Let me use an example of football. Unajua mi ni mtu wa Man U, unasema ni mtu wa Chelsea, so you start supporting Man U because this person that you really like and support his team. I would say that just find your own voice. Like, as much as you're in a relationship, this other you exist outside this other person, so usiache life yako revolve around them. Even in friendship wise, don't mimic your friends behavior sana. Sometimes I see on TikTok ile concept yene, I see them, some people are very healthy. I admire girls who have healthy relationship. Zile za people are saying atiho the theme is, let's say, black and white, and then someone just wears black and white because it's black and white, and then they're not going in with the concept of, let's say, of their what they dress like. Let's say an example of, let's say, if I have a dress which is black and white, and then my best friend is like, unajua nini, Mr. Kuva dress and talk about trouser and then I end up wearing a trouser. A trouser might look good on her, but maybe does not look as good on me. So don't change based on relationship or friendship. Just find yourself. Like, just know that this works good for me, so I'm gonna do it regardless if I'm in a relationship or I'm not. And I think sometimes we tend to forget sana because we tend to want to impress maybe our friends or our partners, but we've already impressed them. They're already here. What do you mean? You don't need to impress them further. You just have to be you. Another thing is, I would say, this one I think I learned way later in life. The closer the proximity you are with someone, the more intimate the relationship will be. Let's say this is more an expounding on more about boundaries, about setting boundaries. Let's say if you are in a class, I'm talking to teenagers, I'm talking to young adults, obviously. So if you are in a class which is mixed, like kuna machali na kuna madem, and then you don't want to engage physically with this guy. You don't want to hautaki anything to do with this guy. So kila time penye ameketi wewe mnakaribiana kusonga. So you see, the closer you are, the proximity, like if kama ni mimi na wewe hivi, like if we close this gap, it's almost, I think, I don't know, 5 inches, I'm not sure. Like if I come closer to you, like let's say at 3 inches, it's going to give me like nikama it's opening room for discussion, so anyone can just enter that proximity. So if you don't want to miscommunicate anga what with your friends and everything, because we also have friends who are male friends, so kama ni beshte yako usi engage, usishinde umeshinda naye sana, you're getting, because you might miscommunicate this. And also, if you don't want to be approached, like I see this is a normal thing, like zile za atio watu wakiwa kampo, they always hug and everything. Being one of them, I'm guilty as charged. But if they were people who are my not friends, I couldn't hug them because I don't know them like that, Also, in reference to the closer the proximity, the more intimate the relationship will be. Like if someone, I tend to say ati kwa nyumba yako kama unajikalisha, kama you're living alone somewhere, you don't want, your house is your safe space, you get. So you have selective people that you want to come in your house. Inviting people to your house is like inviting people to your intimate space, to your small cocoon. So if you don't want a lot of people in your small cocoon, don't invite everyone. Don't be quick to say at you, because this is a space that I'm not willing to cross. Tupatane tu shule, story ishie hivyo. That's the reason why celebrities wanashinanga wakihamahama, because fans tend to think, we have fans, we have stalkers, kuna watu ni wengi. Fans to tend to think ati sasa juu amekuona kwa camera, they know you as a person, you get. Ama because you smile at someone, they know you like that. So they tend to wanadhani wewe ni rafiki yako and everything. Another thing I would say, know the difference between an acquaintance and a friend. An acquaintance is just someone you know, so in a place of work, sijui gym, sijui class, sijui nini, hizo yani acquaintances. Someone that you just know, maybe by their first name, their second name. You have zero interest. Like hata kama mko na namba za each other, you don't even discuss a lot of things. Amshini mkiulizana ati na umeshinda aje nini. And then a friend is someone that you would even ask for advice. And then I say don't mix friend groups such that kama umepata rafiki yako gym, si lazima na rafiki yako wa church wajuane. You are a different person when you're in the gym. You're a different person when you're going for therapy. You're a different person when you're going for karaoke night. You're a very different person. So it's okay to collect these different friends and know where to place them. Lakini, it's not okay for you to want all your friend groups to mix. You're getting. So mimi kama wasichana, I don't get why we are inviting people to our homes. Kwanza kama you are staying outside there alone. No one should even know sana where you live. For what purpose? Akae tuko. Another thing, okay. Measure twice and cut once. This is a reference to instead of judging, first always ask. Sometimes I tend to think people are very quick to judge, mtu afanya tu makosa moja alafu namuuliza, sasa wewe kwa nini haukufanya hivi na hivi, sasa wewe kwa nini haukupika venye ulipikanga, so the thing to do is that when you come with so many questions, with judging questions, with criticism, the person mwenye unaendea anatend to close up, so they will go into a defensive mode. So measuring twice and cutting once is be like, oh, I noticed that, leo kupika githeri poa, uko na shida yote, unasikia popote vibaya, ama WhatsApp, you get. So it opens room for communication. Like they will be like, oh, let's gonna feel poa, ama this and this happened, ama akisikuwa na feel kupika, una get sasa. So instead of judging someone, first go in with this perspective, a different perspective. Usiende na maswali sana, una get sasa. Another question, hey, eye contact in measuring proximity. Oh my goodness, when I explain, the closer the proximity, the more intimate the relationship will be. I think as people, in order for you to establish your self-esteem, to set your boundaries clear, when you're saying no, say no with a straight face, and keep good eye contact. Be like, no, I don't want to do it, period. You don't have to question it. I feel like the first time you set boundaries and be like, my friend once sat me down and she was like, you know what, Mimi if you are living in the same place, Mimi we are not going to hide our feelings against each other. Sitakuwa na imagine what you're thinking. You have to tell me what you're thinking. And then she was looking me straight into the eyes. So when she was looking straight into the eyes, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in deep shit. But then this got me thinking, she wanted my full attention. And when I was looking at her, there was no distraction, so it was just me and her at that time. So she was like, this and this is going to happen, this and this is going to happen. So when you're setting boundaries, make sure you have a stern face. Be like, I'm not gonna do that because those are not my values. Simple, period. Hakuna haja ya explain vitu mingi. Last one, oh my goodness, now this is the best one. I learned this from ini kitabu gani? Oh my goodness. I think it's the Art of Persuasion by James Bogg. I think, or How to Influence People by Dale Carlington. Between the two, College by Dale. Between the two, I think one is a continuation of the others, in a correlate in some way. So the author was saying, you don't get what you deserve in life, you get what you negotiate for. In my video that I explained on disability accommodation and disability etiquette, I was saying that sometimes in work environments, persons with disabilities negotiate for some things, you get. So in life, I think we have to have very good negotiation skills. Unaona kama ile time unaenda kubuy nguo mtumba and then you feel that ni kama I've gotten it for a steal, and then someone goes and then buys the same, let's say I buy a top for 500, someone else goes and buy it for 1,000, you get. So mi nilifika huko nikajibonga, negotiate, nikafanya nini, nikabaki to 500. There is someone else who anaweza negotiate that up to 50, you get. Sometimes in life you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate for. So I feel like we should improve our negotiation skills, even in choosing friendship and everything. Alafu pia in aspect of relationships and romantic partners, ni zile za sometimes you are non-negotiables, you get. Oh, I want a man who is this and this and this and this and this and this and this. So if you get someone who is like that, that is not something that you deserve. That is something that you negotiated for. That is something that you settled for. And then you get someone who is like, oh, mimi sijui nataka nini, and then you have to negotiate down. So you might have gone with someone that you negotiated with. You said, these are my non-negotiables, naenda nazo. These are my not non-negotiables, I'm not doing that. So in whatever you do, think twice and then get your negotiation skills at bar. Like, know how to talk. Just know how to talk, because even I think in work environments, this is now for what talk about kidogo, but in the same area, in work environments, there are sometimes, even when you're going for interview, they're like, oh, they want to negotiate with you the salary. They're like, oh, unajua si tunalipa ka 30k, unaona aje? And now you have to negotiate yourself down. Like, there's a minimum point they won't go, but if you negotiate pa unaweza pata, there's a reason where sometimes unapata people are in the same office, mwingine anapata like let's 70k, even maybe in a startup, maybe 70k, mwingine anapata 50, mwingine anapata 100k. They're the same department, but you mwingine alijibonga 50, alafu wewe ukajibonga tu hivyo. So just learn how to negotiate. Learn how to negotiate everything. I think we are given that power because Mungu alitupatia maneno. We are educated people. What do you mean? We know how to. Sasa tunajua kujibonga. So like, take your time to finish this off, because I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking. From my favorite quote of the week comes from Marilyn Monroe, our self-esteem queen and our self-confidence queen. She said, just be you, the rest are already taken. So in whatever happens, like, I may have given you a lot of advice, at the end of the day, you just pick whatever makes sense. And then remember, you have to be authentic to yourself. You have to be like, you have to only exist to, like, in 1,000 rooms, there might be 1,000 Zipporas, but there's something that is different from me, from like another Zippora. Unaona sasa, maybe mimi kuyap yangu makes sense, you're getting. Maybe there's just something that attracts you to me, you know. Even in choosing friends, you don't have to, I have to like this so that my friends can like this and this and this and this and this. Just be you, because the right people, they will find you. My cousin Ian says, leo na quote watu wengi. My cousin Ian said, he said actually this yesterday. He said, people meet you where you are at. I had this several times, but I just wanted to say it same. People meet you where you are at. So if you are comfortable, people are going to meet you there. So there are some people that you're going to meet that watakupata maybe kama ulikuwa na struggle, alafu ukishaacha kustruggle upate wengine wakati uko na do, you're getting. So if you love yourself, if you value yourself, people are going to meet you there. People are going to value because you value yourself first. Unaona sasa? So long story short, be authentic, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Hii dunia bana, watu wamechukulia manze. Watu wameisha. Anyway, bye. Till next time. Comment down below on which part I forgot. Yes, till next time. Bye.